Dude, people hate on ghostwriters, but I mean, like, I love ghostwriters. I don't hate on ghostwriters. Like, what are the odds
Yeah.
that the best writers are also the best performers? You know, I feel like people conflate this too often. It's like, oh, my favorite artist needs to be a performer and a writer. Dude, you're going to be missing out on so many amazing music if that was the case.
Yeah, and also, like, teams, there's a certain kind of thing where, like, when you have a team of people that work together really well, you're going to create a better product than one solo person could, right?
Yeah.
I think it just needs to be disclosed maybe more. Like why? Like how come Billie Eilish and her brother can be like an amazing team working together, but like, other artists, they just take the song and the writing, whatever, and they're like, Like,
well, I mean, I feel like most writers, most singers will credit the writer for sure.
Yeah.
But in rap, there's it's frowned upon very much.
Yeah.
So
I think I can see it because in rap, especially like in a diss track, the idea is
exactly
like,
so personal.
It's personal. Yeah. So I can see it. I do think that like there are some artists who you kind of like write their own songs, and it kind of gives them like an edge as well. Like Ed Sheeran, people like just love him because they know he's a good writer. That's like part of what makes him like who he is and why we all love him, and that's why I feel like that's what it is for rappers too. And so when people use ghostwriters, it's like they're trying to be that person that everyone's like, we know him, we love him because he writes his own stuff, and they're trying to hide the fact that in reality they don't, because they look better if they do, right?
I think the rapper persona is very much. It's kind of like similar for well, at least OG YouTubers, where it's like, oh, you got to be real, and you got to be talking about your true experiences. Most rappers don't. But that's a different conversation. But that's the expectation and the image they have. Just like, oh, I went through these experiences, and so I'm communicating these experiences to you. So it's frowned upon. I should say, it's not necessarily. It's not confirmed that it's a ghostwriter.
Right. We're talking about this as if it's 100%.
I'm assuming it's
exactly. Well,
a ghostwriter because. Holy moly, that's a good song. That is one of the top diss tracks I've heard, period.
Wow. You're a huge fan.
I'm a huge fan because it's just so effective and efficient.
Yeah.
Like first of all, the hook is great. Like the chorus, the pre-chorus. It's one of those diss tracks that you actually end up, singing to yourself. There's great diss tracks, MK...
Don't know what we're talking about.
MK Machine Gun.
Oh, Machine Gun Kelly,
MGK.
Yeah.
MGK and Eminem had a back and forth and great songs, and I listen to them a lot, but I'm not like singing to myself as I'm doing other stuff. This song has a great hook, and it's one of those songs that you just like sing to yourself. It's kind of like back to back in that way from Drake.
Yeah. I think that it's very possible that he wrote it himself because he is trying to get into music, but it makes more sense that we got a ghostwriter because like it came out so fast. Like he needs to be like, oh, am I gonna fight Antonio Brown? All right, boom, song. Like how do you just do that? Like it'd be way more convenient to have someone who's actually good at music and based off what you're saying of how great the song is. And like I think it's good too. I haven't listened to it enough times to really like rate it compared to all the diss tracks that I've heard, because I feel like there's been some really good diss tracks, but this is definitely a banger song. Like you played it a couple times and it's already stuck in my head. I got that thing looping. Like
I mean, I think what makes it so good, it's well, first of all, the hook, great hook that you can like relate to or mess with, even if you're not connected with the diss track. But then when you go to the verses, it's a thing where every line is it's like, oh no, he didn't. And every single line is effective, and he's being efficient with all of his lines. He's like trying to communicate something. Granted, Antonio Brown is an easy target.
Right.
But then again, Logan Paul is an easy target. If Antonio Brown wants to come back with some heat.
Oh yeah, dude. This is why it's so fun. Like this whole narrative is so fun. And now that I think about it, like he might have had a long time because Logan Paul is picking his opponent right now, right? Like he picked Antonio Brown, right?
Yeah.
So he might have had a long time to really think about this diss track.
Oh, dude,
and
he's been talking about it for the longest time. Like, dude, I got this diss track, but this guy wanna agreed to fight me, and he knew he wanted to release this track because he knew how good it was.
Yeah. He knew it was like a fire song, dude.
Now, nothing has been announced.
Yeah.
But Logan released this track. Antonio Brown released a video where he's like practicing. He's in the gym. He's just practicing boxing. And looking at that, it just, I wonder. Mm-hmm. I wonder who's gonna win.
I mean, this is why this is so great, though. This is why this is so great, because now we get to just experience this whole thing over again. It's a tight match. We don't know who's gonna win, and there's a lot at stake again, because if Logan loses this fight, I mean, he's done. Like, he's done boxing. What are you gonna do after that? Like, you're done.
First round goes to Logan, because that that diss track.
Oh, round one. I thought
round one.
Yeah, okay.
Not of the fight.
Not of the fight, but of the banter. Yes, round one.
Battle.
Goes to Logan. Yes.
The war.
Yeah. If you haven't listened
round
to it
one
yet,
of the war goes to.
Give it a listen. See what you think. What's the song called?
Going broke. Going broke. I feel like this latest diss track is almost in a category of its own, because I mean, I remember his last diss track versus KSI. Mm-hmm. I thought it was whack.
Yeah, it was. Really
I thought it was whack.
You mean it's the one where I remember the one versus KSI. I think I remember the last one. I remember the one where he's in London, but I don't remember one after that. Did you do one after that?
I don't even. I remember he was like in his car and he was
that
like
one.
flexing.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. I thought it was really funny. I like that one actually. I think that like it used to be very much about it being funny and just fun, right? I think this latest one is more of kind of like a bop, like a good song.
And here's the thing, like if Logan actually I when I say that Logan like is probably a ghostwriter, like it's first of all, it's because I believe that, and I don't mean that as an insult to Logan. It's just that song is just that good.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing is, if Logan wrote it, that would be like the greatest compliment as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's that good. It's so good. I don't believe you made it.
Yeah. If you did make
but
it,
if you did make it, whoa, you have exceeded all my expectations by a mile.